better. We're going to go to the senator, but I'm going to tell you this. The fight for the soul of Liberia is not something you can compromise on. This country has to develop. Eleke Jeko. Honorable Senator.
The noise in the country, the noise in the country, understandably, is because in 2025, or for sure 2025, people are already in 2029. That's the only reason the noise is in the country. The people who are talking and wishing for 2029 have the rights to do so. They want you to fail. They will make it appear like you fail already for the wishful thinking about 2029 to come to pass. You in authority, we in authority, should be more concerned about 2025. Every day in 2025. When we enter 2026, every day in 2026, what we do in 2025, what we do in 2026, what we do in 2027, what we do in 2028 will determine 2029. Just by sitting and waiting for 2029, you don't want to cut it. So let me encourage all rescue people that for nearly 6 months to a year, not many persons, especially where LEC is supplying current, that some people remember the last time they put a generator on. If that is not change and or progress, then you don't know what change and or progress is. Not many persons going home these days were asked if LEC there because they expect and know that LEC will be there. If that is not change and or progress, then you don't know what change and or progress is. Do we have electricity across the country? No. Are we deliberately intending to do so? Yes. Will it take some time? Oh, yes. Do we have the intentions, the focus, and the purpose to expand electricity and even make it more cheaper? Yes. From 2024, when we took over, to now that we sit, nobody can argue that the price of rice is the same or is reduced. From 2024, since we took over to now, nobody can argue that the price of petroleum product is the same. Since January 2024, there has never been queue of Liberians at any filling station in fear of shortage of petroleum product on the market. If that is not progress, then I don't know what progress is. I mean, incremental, steady progress. Well, we can do all of these things if more of our people are not put to job. If we cannot create the avenue and provide more opportunity for our people, for Papa to come home, where the children and the mothers are expecting Papa and waiting for him to receive him at the door. Somebody who does not understand what they call bread and butter issue will say, the rule we eat. Nobody can argue that you cannot get in your car from Monrovia to the southeast and practically return the same day. That has never happened for decades in this country. in less than 2 years. If that is not progress, change, then you don't know what progress or change is. So, rescuers, don't follow the 2029 talk. Let the people who are focused on 2029 talk about the 2029. Don't let them draw you into it. Because the only thing is to talk and talk about 2029, and they want to drag you into it. Your talk about 2029 should be what we do every day in 2025, what we do and how we do it every day in 2026, 2027, 2028, and 2029 will decide. So when people say this stuff, they don't want to hear you talking the like on them, I just make it easy for them. I say the labor boss. I don't want that. Because I am more focused. You can't tell me no level on because you want like on. Then you come and you say let team. If the level not on, I got team. So I just make it easy. The level boss. And certified, okay. I go to do my work. In 2025, 2026, when the National Food Assistance Authority, they built a put on the floor, drafted from my office on my desk, put on the floor in 2020, was passed in the Senate, concurred it with in the House. President Barker has signed it into law, and that state institution is now gearing up to go into full operation. When government starts to do school feeding program through government institution, and our people seeing that government is feeding student school-going kids at public schools across the country, they will understand that change came. We put a bill on the floor, we wrote it. It passed into law. President Barker signed it into law. It's published. The entity is being made functional. When we revise or amend criminal code D jurisdiction to give a concurrent jurisdiction over drug-related cases to prosecute drug-related cases, and people have begun to be prosecuted and found liable and punished under the law, people will start to see the progress. 2029 will decide itself. When we start to digitize our court system, where the land crisis can be reduced as a result of the court will not probate one land 4 different times, 5 different times, and people are prosecuted for multiple sales of one land because the system can catch it immediately. It will discourage people from selling land. The land crisis will start to reduce. People will see it. 2029 will decide itself. When more Liberians are put to job, when the market women can say, my market is the people buying, 2029 will decide itself. But I'd like to close by saying, if any of us expecting couple rest, you know, when we were growing up, couple rest were tensions. When I was born, couple rest were tension. My mom and papa used to say, time hard. All of us on this platform who went to school in Liberia, or everybody around the world, Liberia around the world, who knows, before the war, 50 cents was a big ball recess. 50 cents would buy you sovereign, bread, mayonnaise, and egg. When sovereign was 25 cents, bread 10 cents, mayonnaise, and egg. All 50 cents. People said the country was hot. There will never be a time right now in the US where some people sit. The price of egg has gone up from when Joe Biden was president.
That's right.
The price of fuel, gasoline, is not the same. It's up than when Joe Biden was president. In Liberia, the price of fuel has reduced compared to when CDC was president. There are many things that we are fighting on, laying the foundation for our people to benefit. When you're building a house, and people who don't understand the blueprint or the architectural design of the house, when you're putting the foundation down, it can appear to be confusing to some people. They say, what am I building here? When it starts to take shape up to roof level, then those same people can say, oh, I see where the person was building here, because they can now understand, they can now see, they can now feel, they can now get a clear picture. So in the building process, rescue people. Don't allow people to drag you into 2029 talk. 2029 for everybody. The seats that we occupy, elected seats for the people who bought it. When the people are ready, they will decide who will go there.
Amen.
If you're there and you want to retain it or retain it, don't think about the next election. Be focused, be intentional about what you're doing now. So I want to say thank you to all of you for your continual commitment to the class reloaded, where we provide government sources, we speak to government challenges, we speak to challenges and things that and failures of the past, or that we want to turn into success, future success. I want to thank you again. I will be coming to class regularly. When I be here, you're talking about your 2029. You're joining the people talking about 2029. All the people talking. We see, you can hear them talking about a few petroleum prices going down. No, because it's not good for the 2029 topic. You can hear them talking that LEC is more stable and being expanded to more homes because it takes away from the 2029 talking point. You can see them showing picture of cars getting stuck in the mud like it used to be for decades. No, they won't, because that takes away from the 2029 talking point. My people, I told some people I am not in political gear yet. I am more focused. I am more focused on governance and solutions. Thank you.
Honorable Senator, the focus is the now. I love it, gentlemen, to the students, the scholars, as the minister called you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going to go home singing our All Hail Liberia Hill.
God will call me back.